Isolation or isolating mechanism in evolution. So, in evolutionary term, isolation means the segregation, right? If someone is isolating from a group, some group of population is isolating from a population, or if a species is isolating from a taxon, so this kind of the differentiation is called as the isolation, right? So there are some mechanisms which we will discuss in this slide. So these are actually called as isolating mechanisms, which are using for this isolation. Okay. Wh- Why they are showing the isolation? Because they need to do the evolution, and that's why they are showing the isolation. So they always any species, any organism group, any population want to evolve itself. That's why they are isolating from the previous one group. Okay. So this is happens. And generally, whenever they are making the isolation, they are doing the isolation, they are making some smaller groups, okay, or units. Okay. Let's see its types one by one. First is the geographical or allopathic isolation. Geographical, likewise, one area is here and second area is here, and in between there is a large ocean, maybe a river, any kind. So that what happened? The animals which are living here, they are not able to go there in the second area. Okay, and that's why they are not able to breathe. So generally, isolating mechanisms are preventing the interbreeding. Okay, so they prevent interbreeding. So isolate any type of mechanism, whether it is geographical, whether it is reproductive, any kind of isolating mechanism is for preventing interbreeding. So the organisms of this population are not able to now interbreed with this. Okay. So that's why they are geographically isolated. As you know, in species, we know there are some types of species. Okay, sympatric, allopatric, peripatric, parapatric. So you know that allopatric, an allopatric type of the isolation is known as geographical isolation because as we know that there is a large what body or large and cave and cavity or canyon is there and organisms are not able to go there and breed. So this is called as separation or isolation. And due to the geographical feature, this isolation is happened, and that's why this is the geographical isolation. Okay, and if we see some examples, then we can find there are lots of animals and organisms. Likewise, the organisms of Australia are not able to interbreed with the those who are living in the Asia, okay, or those who are living in the American region, those who are living in the African region. So they are not able to interbreed with each other. Okay, so because there is a large ocean, and that ocean is uh, preventing these. Although birds can go there, but land mammals or small insects, they are not able to go there. So that's why these kind of the separations are always happen there. Next is the reproductive isolation. So in the reproductive isolation, if you see, then we will find these are actually sympatric type of isolation. Geographical was the allopatry, reproductive is the sympatric kind of the isolation because they are living in the same area, but still they are showing the reproductive isolation. Okay, so let's see its types. First is the pre-mating mechanism. Whenever mating, they are showing the isolation before mating. Means this is called as the courtship. In courtship phase, whenever they are showing the isolation, then this is called as the pre-mating isolation. Before mating, before joining of the gametes, this isolation is shown. And these are the some types or some types. One is the seasonal or temporal or allochronic. Please read here clearly. Allochronic. Here it adds allopatric. Allo means different. So if area was the different, then we are saying that allopatric. If area is same but time is different, chronic means time or any timeline. Okay, so its timeline is different. Okay, see, likewise, one species is uh, uh, start breeding, or its breeding season is likewise in the May, and in the second species, its breeding season is the uh, June or July, or maybe sometimes different. Okay, so what will happen? They are not able to interbreed with them, with those organisms of the other species, and that's why they are not showing the isolated organism. So this is also called as the allochronic or temporal kind of thing, because it is a temporal type of the isolation. Let's take an example of this. Uh, there are lots of the organisms which are showing the seasonal or temporal type of the isolation. Generally, they are found in the frogs and toads. If two different species of the frog and toads are living in the same pond, but still they are showing the reproductive isolation. One example is the Bufo americanus. Okay. And another is the Bufo howleri. So both of these species are actually living together in the same pond, but still they are not showing interpreting. Why? Because Bufo americanus are showing its reproductive season in the May. Means they are breeding the May month. And Bufo fowleri, they are breeding in the July to August. Okay, July to August, and that's why they are not able to build with them, with each other, because they are living together, but still their timeline is different, season is different. Next, habitat or ecological isolation. Okay, habitat means they are living in same habitat. Okay, their season is the same, timeline is same, but still they are showing the isolation. Why? Because sorry, they are not living in the same state. Sorry, uh, I mistakenly said that. Uh, habitat is the different. Okay, but season is same. Okay, and ecology means their ecology is somewhat different, and that's why they are not showing the isolation. Not showing the interbreeding. Okay. So this is happens in case of the like tiger and lion. Okay, so likewise lion and tiger, they are potentially in, able to interbreed with each other. Their structure, genital organs are almost they are potential. Okay, they are potent to interbreed, but still they are not breeding with each other. Why? Because they are living in the separate habitat. They have created their own territory, own habitat, and they are living there. Okay, and they are not populating with each other anyways. Okay, so this is the actual ecological isolation. Their ecology is different. They are living in their own different type of ecology or habitats. Okay. So they have made the different territory. Okay. So this is also called as territorial isolation. Next one is the mechanical or anatomical isolation. If they are living together, okay, season is the same, okay, timeline is same, they are generating or they are growing their gametes at the same time, but still they are not able to integrate. Why? Because mechanical or isolation, anatomical type of isolation is there. Okay. Means their body structures, means genital organs or means sex organs, they are different. Likewise, let's take an example. Uh, Elephant cannot breed with the monkey because their uh, uh, genitals or sex organs are different. Not only the, if I am taking the same uh, same kind of the organism like dog, so still we know that there are some animals, there are some dogs which are different and their sex organs are different, and that's why those both of the dogs cannot integrate with each other. Okay. Because one is the very smaller dog and one is the uh, very large and muscular kind of the breed. So both of these breed cannot interbreed with each other. Okay. So they both are different, and that's why they are showing mechanical or anatomical kind of isolation. Okay. Now let's see the next one, which is the ethological or behavioral kind of isolation. Behavioral or thinking kind of the isolation. They are thinking. Their thinking is different. Ethology is different. Ethology means thinking. Behavioral. Behavior. Study of behavior is also called as ethology. Okay. So their behavior, they are not behaving with each other that they can interpret. Okay. So what are the types and reasons? Sometimes they are showing the visual stimuli, and these visual stimuli are only specific or restricted to their own kind of the animals or own organisms. Okay, means organism of their own species. So that's why these are the different. So visual stimuli are showing. Likewise, peacock. Okay, so peacock is showing the dance. Peacock are dancing and attracting their partners. Okay, so this is a special sticker which only can understand people by their own kind of the organism, and that's why the different organisms are not able to integrate with them. However, they are living together or eating together in the same area, but still they are separated by their visual stimuli, and that's why only peacock and peahen can integrate with each other and none of the other. Similarly, weaver bird. Okay. So they make their nest. So nests are different than the another kind of species, another birds. Similarly, lots of the birds have the different kind of the nest. Okay, and their specific nest are the visual stimuli which are using for the attraction of or attracting for their partners. Okay, so that what happened, their partners come together and they interview each other. So these are the visual stimuli, they attract them, their organism, not only the birds but also mammals. Likewise, the we know that antler or stages, they are showing their large horns. Okay, so antler, antlers and stages. Okay, even if we see the another kind of the animals, so they show their muscular structure, muscular body. Okay, so muscular body is using for the visual stimuli of the some organism to mate with each other. So this kind of the pathological or behavioral isolation are shown, which are only for their own species or organism. Next is the auditory stimuli. Auditory stimuli are related to the some kind of uh, vocal words. Okay, means sound. They produce specific sounds like alarm call, okay, or breeding call, breeding or mating call. Okay. So some animals, as you know, they have a specific kind of the sound. They are producing specific kind of sound, like we have heard camels, goat, okay, and bull. They are producing special kind of the sound. So these sound are attracting their partners because only their partners can understand that what kind of the sound is different from the normal sound. Okay, if you heard, then you must realize that uh, this kind of the sound is always different than their normal sound. Okay, likewise the frog. Okay, so frog are also producing a special breeding or mating call to attract their partners in the rainy season, and that sound is the different than the normal sound whenever they are producing the other days. So that's why their partners come together and they are able to breed with their organism, and that's why another organism are always isolated, or we can say that these organisms are always isolated. So these are different organisms. Next is the chemical stimuli. Chemical, it means related to the pheromones. Okay. So pheromones are the special chemical stimuli which are uh, released by one partner to attract their own another partner of their own species. And these are species specific. These are very specific stereotypic stereotypic kind of the chemicals are there. Okay, and these chemicals are releasing and understandable by the, or we can say that receiving by the only those organisms which are related to that species. Even we can see some examples like the insects. Okay. So there are lots of insects, but still there are some insects which can understand or which can receive chemical stimuli uh, far long as 2 or 4 kilometers away. Still they are setting, but still they can get these kind of the signals. However, the near vicinity organism cannot understand or cannot receive those signals. Okay, if they are of the different species, so that's why they show the this kind of the uh, is- isolation of the chemical stimuli. Okay, and in birds, in lepidopteran insects, okay, and in case of the musk deer, okay, elephants, okay. So these are some examples which are using by in terms of the chemicals. Okay, let's see the next one. So these all the mechanisms happening before the mating or before the copulatory process means these are related to courtship. So courtship is always happen before the copulatory process, and that's why these reactions were related to the courtship. Now we are talking about the after courtship or couplet. So these are the post-mating mechanism. Means after mating, whenever they are exchanging their gametes, they are exchanging the gametes. So this time they are showing the still reproductive kind of isolation. Means they have exchanged the gametes, but likewise gamete mortality. Okay. So if we see some kind of the animals are not allowing their gametes. Generally, gametes are isolated by the fertilizing and anti-fertilizer. Okay. So fertilizer and anti-fertilizer kind of the receptor and chemical stimuli. So that's why they are able to understand, they are able to find out their specific gametes. Okay. But if still supposedly the two different species have did the mating and they have exchanged the gametes, so what happened? They will kill those gametes before uh, fertilization of the gametes. Okay. Likewise, one example is the Drosophila. In Drosophila, uh, what happened? If the another species or interspecific kind of the gamete are released in them or crossed with those organisms, then what will happen? They will swell their vagina. Okay, swell their vagina, and what happened? They will squeeze the gametes or squeeze the sperm, and they will kill those sperms. So this kind of the activity happens. They will not allow the other sperms to fertilize with their organ ovum. So this is the chemical activity. And sometimes if uh, like gametes are fused, okay, and uh, but the zygote are not viable. Zygote are mortal. Okay, more zygote mortality happens. Means zygote itself kill themselves. Why? Because whenever uh, you know in development biology we know that whenever like one plus is came from the female and one is from the male, then what will happen? Both the nuclei will share their chromosomes and they will make the pairs. So if different chromosomes are there, then they will not able to make pairs. And in this case, zygote will understand that okay, these are the different kind of the chromosomes, and I should not allow them. And that's why zygote itself will. This is kind of the mortality happens. But zygote is killing by their uh, releasing of some hormones and chemicals which are released by that organism, and this is happens. Okay, so they are not loving. Okay, likewise, one example I'm giving. You know that there are lots of fishes, frogs, and those animals which are doing the external fertilization. Okay, so they uh, come to come to a ground which is the spawning ground. You know that they are doing the spawning and releasing the sperms and ovum there. Okay, spawning ground. So they all come together and release their gametes there. But still, you know that there are lots of gametes if supposedly already present there. Okay, but they are not able to fuse their another gametes. If they are able to fuse, then what will happen? Those zygotes which are formed by the fertilization of the both of different kind of the gametes, then what will happen? These kind of the zygotes fail to develop, and they will kill themselves or they will be died off automatically. Okay, they will not viable. So this is another type of the zygote inviability is happens. Zygote inviability is happens whenever, supposedly, as I told you, that if zygote is formed, so what will happen? Zygote is supposedly uh, producing a hybrid. Okay, or uh, start making the cleavage, and it is reaching up to the butterfly stage, and then what will happen? Their organism formation is not happening clearly, or if it is happen, then what will happen? The complete organism will not develop, or if develop, then hybrid sterility will be available there. So hybrid sterility is a different case, but zygote will not completely convert into the blastula and gastrula, and or even not make organs. Okay, so complete organism formation will not occur there. So this is called as zygote inviability. Okay. And generally it is happening in the hybrids. We will again discuss the hybrids in there. Let's come to the hybrids. So hybrids, you know that hybrids are those organisms which are made from the different uh, species. Okay, so let's hybrids may be in Bible. Okay, because hybrid always shows some kind of stability or inviability. So hybrid inviability can be seen likewise. Suppose one is the uh, frog species is there. Okay, and second is the tadpole stage is there. Okay. And uh, these are of the two different uh, species. Okay, so they will not able to uh, do the or make the uh, gametes, and they are producing the new organism. Okay, so certain types of frog from the hybrid tadpole that die before they can become a frog. Okay, so as I told you that if the black frog is not making, or if the organs are making but still they are not converting into the complete organism. So similarly, it can be seen that supposedly it is the its birth is already done, okay, and if they are converted into the larva stage, but they are not able to convert into the adult stage as well. Okay, so they will die before converting into the adult stage. So this can be case seen in frog, means their tadpole will die off before converting into the adult. So this is called as hybrid inviability. They are not viable. Next is the infertility or sterility. Supposedly, they are able to convert the adults. Okay, they have converted, but still they will fail to produce the functional kind of the gametes, and that's why they are called as infertile or sterile. Why sterile? Because the functional gametes can't be produced by these organisms, and that's why they are sterile. They are infertile. Means they are not able to produce their progeny. They are not able to make their generations. Okay, so that's why they are infertile. And examples are the mule and henny. Okay, you know, mule or mule are developed whenever a male donkey and female horse is there. And henny are developed when the female donkey and horse is there. So both of these are made from the donkey and horse. Okay. And both are sterile. In fact, means they are not able to produce the viable gametes, and that's why they are not able to not produce the viable progeny. Last breakdown. Hybrid fertility or hybrid breakdown can be seen. What does it mean? Its meaning is that supposedly one generation of hybrid is able to develop the sterile, sorry, fertile kind of the organism, fertile progeny. It means what will happen? The F1 progeny will develop. But the next F2 progeny will not develop. Means the next progeny will automatically be infertile. Means they will not live longer time or longer duration. Longer generations will not able to do or make the fertile gametes, and that's why second generation will automatically will be died off. So this can be seen in some examples of the uh, coffee pod. Okay. Coffee pods are somewhat kind of the autopods. Okay. So they are releasing such kind of the organism and generations. And these generations are generally happens by the test crossing of those infertile or sterile organisms which were developed in case of the hybrids. And these test cross give the results. Okay, test cross or backcross generally happens and done artificially, and that's why they are able to produce the fertile progeny. But still, those progeny are only viable for the single generation, not more than one generation. So these kind of the case can be seen. Means F1 progeny of those sterile uh, or F1 progeny of those hybrid is produced, but F2 is not able. Means F2 is not producing by the F1. So this kind of the uh, sterility can be seen or isolation can be seen. So these all are the different type of mechanism of the isolation, okay, and they are producing the gametes and all these things. So isolation is happens. Now let's see the significance of the isolation. What are the significance of isolation? The actually main meaning of the isolation is to uh, prevent wasting of gametes. Means they are not allowed to waste their gametes. Like as I gave you an example, the spawning ground is making there and they are releasing the all the sperms together, and out of them lots of the sperms are wasted. Okay, so this process is prevented by the adopted internal fertilization, and that's why in course of evolution the later organism or higher vertebrates have developed the internal fertilization, and that's why they are saving their gaps. Again, they have already changed their genitalia or structures, anatomical barriers, so that they are only able to fertile their own organism, and that's why they are not wasting gametes anywhere else. Secondly, they are producing the new kind of the species by instant speciation. Instant speciation. So this is also preventing by the isolation. Instant speciation in case of the hybrid breakdown. As I told you that F1 progeny is making the fertile by the test cross or back cross, but F2 is not producing. Okay, so this kind of the species can be seen instant kind of the species as we have seen in mule. Okay, so this species is not more longer for the longer terms live. Okay. So absence of the isolating mechanism leads to the instant species, but isolation prevented this action. Next, geographical isolation, if it is happening, then what will happen? They are lead to production of the new species. Okay, and uh, new species, as I told you that species, because likewise the those organisms which are living the like the American region and those who are living in the Asian region, they both are separate. Okay, and they are not able to mate with each other, and that's why they will uh, create new species by themselves, and both these species will be again different, and this is the helpful for the evolution, okay, according to their environmental conditions and requirements, all those things. Okay. So these things are happens to means they are saving their energy gametes, okay, preventing the instant speciation, okay, and still prevent the hybridization, okay, and protect the gene pool of the species, okay, and developed some kind of the courtship mechanism as we had seen in the case of the behavioral isolation. Okay. So overall, they are showing the they are showing the uh, speciation and stereotypic effects. Okay, so means species specific effects. Okay, that's